Hello there, how are you doing? Hope you're doing wonderful today, and welcome back to Enchanted Hollows Season 3, Episode 8. Oh wow, what a episode. We have already done some huge progress. You guys will have seen the time-lapse at the beginning of this video. I just tried to fly over on a lighter. You guys will have seen the time-lapse at the beginning of this video, in which we built this fine contraption. Now, this is a moss farm. Plain and simple, I need lots of moss because of this comment on the screen now. I need a lot of moss to try and prevent leaf litter, and also, hopefully, mobs don't spawn on moss. I could be wrong, I'm hoping. Now, this is not my design for a moss farm. I don't know how to build moss farms. That shouldn't come as a surprise to you guys. This is a moss farm created by JC Plays. I'll leave a link to that down below, and it should also be a little time card in the top corner of the screen now. Feel free to go and pay that tutorial a visit. I don't know if this works. We're going to test it now. I've literally built it and then done nothing with it. So what you need to do to get this thing working is you need to take a minecart, put it there, turn that rail on, turn that on, and then push the minecart. And apparently that's going to produce moss. Ah, I fell. It's loud, but it is producing moss. We are getting moss. This does require a bone meal supply. I've put a few stacks into here, but it's not great. That's what I spent the beginning of this episode working on. I hope you guys could have guessed that from the time-lapse. It's not a particularly long time-lapse, but I did spend some time on this, and it's pretty effective, actually. It does its job. We're already at 3 stacks, almost, of moss. You guys have seen pretty much the entire time. I've been here 4 minutes, and this has been on for less than 4 minutes, and we're already at quite a decent... This is quite an effective farm, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to sit AFK-ish until this farm runs out of bone meal. I'll get back to you guys once it's out of bone meal. Okay, I am back, and the bone meal is not empty. If we come over here, I've used a stack and a half-ish, 2.5 stacks, roughly, of bone meal. And we are at that much moss. This farm is insane. So, yeah, recommend. Do genuinely recommend making that if you're in need of a lot of moss, like I am. Now, let's go and take some of that moss and take it over to the big build. I was going to call it mega base, but it's not really a mega base. I'm going to be honest. Here we are, the mega base. / big base. Well, technically we're in Silly Panda's base at the moment, but here we are. I don't know if I've shown you guys the progress I've made here with the crops. I don't think I have. But this is the progress we've made. We're all the way up to here on this bit. And then both of these 2 layers are fully done. Time to die, Mr. Cow. So, I don't know if mobs can spawn on moss blocks. Not a clue. I'm going to look into that, and hopefully they don't. Now all I need to do is go along and dig up my entire hill. Specifically the top layer. I'm not digging up the bottom layer. And all I need to do is pick the moss and just fill in the gap. In total, I have placed every single piece of moss that I brought with me. This sugar chest is now empty, but I have done all of the top, and I've started to go around the edges as well. And I've made it to here, so I made it a little bit more than halfway. But there's still a little bit to go in terms of the moss. But that's not really what today's episode was supposed to be themed around. That was just a thing that I have decided to do in today's episode. Today's episode is themed around the farm. We are going to be finishing the farm in today's episode, specifically the farmhouse. But for the most part, I want to set my attention to actually decorating this bit and finishing these fields. So yeah, the plan is to decorate the outside of the farm, get the little bees, beehive area in, get some flowers, all that stuff, get that stuff in, and get these fields done in today's episode, alongside the walls. If we have time in today's episode, we'll do the inside of the farmhouse as well, but I don't know if I'll have time to do that, so we may end up leaving that for a later episode. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to start work on in here. So I actually want to start building the inn that's going to go in this bit. But more on that later in the episode. So that's the plan for today's episode, realistically, is to get the farm finished and start on the inn. Because I'm really excited to... Oh, because I'm down here now. I'm really excited to start working on that. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, I'm going to start by working on this area up here, I think. And I think I want to build sort of bushes as the fence here, as opposed to it being stone walls, because I don't think that will look as good. Did I bring any iron with me? Don't think I did. Luckily, a couple of episodes ago, we set this up, so we can actually just make a few pairs of shears. So it's time to gather some leaves. This is going to be fun. And by fun, I mean the opposite of fun. I hate doing this. That looks strangely ominous. It kind of looks like it's not supposed... Well, I mean, it's not supposed to be there, but I don't know. It kind of looks a bit creepy there. Okay. So we can now start building the fence. Now, I kind of like the idea of sort of doing really small support beams that then have a small amount of fence on them. This. And I'll interlace these here and there. Look at this. Oh, I'm so happy. Look at it. It's amazing. Oh, I love this so much. I would like it if the leaves were less see-through, but I can't really do anything about that, I don't think. So we've now gone around and we've made the wall, which I still think looks amazing. It does such a good job of isolating the farmhouse from everything else. But now that we've done that, we can set our attention to actually decorating this area. So I've alluded to it a few times, but I want this bit here to be a small bee farm. Okay, if you were expecting me to actually build the bee farm / the little bee sanctuary on camera, yeah, so was I. But you may have noticed there's been a bit of a cut between the last bit of this video and now. For some reason, OBS, in its infinite wisdom, decided that because there was no disk space, it would just stop recording instead of alerting me that there was no disk space. So I recorded for another hour, gathering resources, gathering little bits here and there, going and hunting bees, in order to build a little sanctuary. In order for us to have bees. And, I mean, here it is. I'm going to walk you guys through it, but I spent all that time doing that, and OBS didn't record any of it. So, yeah. But here we have it, a little bee sanctuary. So I'm going to add a few more beehives. I need to think of something else to go in this area, maybe like a bench. Be a good idea. Then we've got a little pedestal like the farmer, maybe the farmer's children, or maybe the farmer's wife or something can come up here and they can water the flowers. It's just a nice little sanctuary for the bees. At the moment, we've still got this. This is going to go, don't worry, that's not sticking about. But at the moment, I need it for this, so I can build more of these. And it's got a nice little archway. I think it looks pretty cool. I kind of took the design that I went for this bit and decided to make it a little bit bigger. I'm not really sure what to add in this area, so I'm going to leave that to you guys. Please do let me know down below what you guys think could go in this area. Now, what we need to do is we need to turn our attention to actually decorating the farmhouse. So we need to get some glass to build to make the windows. I'm not doing in here. In here can be for the next episode. But I need to get some glass to make the windows. And I need to plan what I want to put in these areas here. Because I don't really know, I'm going to be honest. So let's grab some moss. Maybe we'll grab a few leaves, logs. What else could we make use of? Brought some copper. We could maybe do something with that. Rose bushes. We can make use of a few of those. I do have some azalea bushes actually that I wouldn't mind including. So let's go grab our azalea bushes. Okay, we're back at the house, and we can start looking at getting some things in. But I'm thinking maybe just here we'll just plonk two rose bushes down. It's simple, but it does get the job done. It's exactly what we need. I think here I want to swap this out for moss. That way it blends in. Like, we could just have that. I think that looks okay. It's maybe a bit blocky. I think that looks good simply because of the fact that the moss kind of blends in so well with the azalea. I don't really have a great deal I can put on top. Maybe we could put like a little rose on top of one. That doesn't look too bad. On this wall we could do... Ooh, actually, no, don't do that. Going up that bit. And then like an azalea bush maybe. Some moss going up. Yeah, I don't like that as much. I do like that. That looks pretty cool. So this bit is going to be where there's going to be a little swinging bench. But I need some chains to do that, and I don't have chains. Can't actually do that just yet. Maybe we can craft some chains, actually. Forget that I sorted out my valuables shulker. We might be able to craft a few chains, actually. What do chains cost? How do you craft those? Is it nuggets? It is nuggets. Aha! Ah, look at that. It's a nice little swing. So that'd be like one of those swinging chairs that you sometimes see in, I don't know, cottage films or something. I don't know. I don't know where this thing kind of comes from, but it's not a new thing. I've seen this quite a lot. Hey, Editor Duck here. Just to let you guys know, I've decided to cut a lot of this decorating thing because I am very bad at my job. And I just sat there in complete silence for about 40 minutes, just building. And it's not even fun to watch. I tried time-lapsing it, I tried cutting bits out. It's just boring. It's not good. And that's on me for being bad at my job. But I've decided to cut it. And instead, we're just going to cut to when the decorating is done. I do go around and I do show you guys it. I do apologize. I'll get better at this whole narrating thing. I promise. Look at that. It's just approaching. The sun is setting. Maybe I'd have like a lamppost here that has signs telling you what goes where. Look at this. As you approach, you've got the leaf walls. You enter up. You go into the house, and well, I mean, there'll be an interior next episode, but this episode there isn't. It does just feel like a sanctuary. Go around. And it's just nice. I just like this area. It feels homely. How has that got there? Feels warm in this area, I think. I'm a very happy duck boy. Very happy indeed. Now, we need to set our attention to these walls. Get them sorted. Get them built up. I want to have this design here as the gates to them because I think it just looks really nice. Frankly, I think it looks really good. So we're going to do that. But otherwise, it's going to be mostly cobblestone, which we don't have a lot of at the moment, I don't think. Hello, Mr. Pig. I think I've reintroduced the ability for mobs to spawn by adding this path. There's nothing spawned in here pretty much this entire time. Except for mutton, which not really sure how mutton spawns, but... So yeah, we don't have a lot of cobblestone, if any. So we're going to need to get some of that. I'm gonna do a time lapse of building these walls. So I'm gonna cut to when I've got the cobblestone, and then I'm just gonna cut straight into the time lapse. So, without further ado, here we go. And with that, the farms are done. Well, more correctly, the walls to the farms are done. And if we have a look, I love these. They look so good. They're very basic. They are entirely cobblestone and cobblestone walls, but I think they serve the purpose of what I need. Now, you may also notice, look boy, the grass around here looks very vibrant. And the reason for that is because I've swapped it to moss. I decided that I would go over and do all of this at midnight. I did this at midnight. I'm not going to address my sleep schedule in today's episode. Just know, this was done at a time I should have been asleep. But with that aside, I have also decided what I'm going to put in each of these areas. So we're going to go along and I'm going to say what's going to be in each of these areas. It is important for me to state, I'll be doing this off camera. This is not fun. It's not going to be entertaining. So I'm going to do this off camera between this episode and the next one. In this field, we're going to have carrots. Then if we come over here, in this field, we are actually going to have... No, that field, the chickens. In this field, we're going to have potatoes. Then if we come over here, this field is actually going to be a chicken pen. So I'm going to bone meal the grass, and I'm going to make this area look a little bit more wild. I'll put some chickens in there. This field is going to be more carrots. This field here is going to be beetroot. So this one's going to be the beetroots because it's a relatively large field. And I think beetroot would look cool in this area. And then finally, coming over here, this field is going to be our pumpkin patch. Because I'm going to be using jack-o'-lanterns for the scarecrows. So it makes sense to have a pumpkin patch. That's what this field is going to be. So that's going to be all of the fields and where they're going to go. And this is going to be the wall that they're going to sit in. Now, you may remember at the beginning of this episode, I discussed that I wanted to work on the inn that's going to go in here. I have decided not to do that this episode because I'm just going to dedicate this episode exclusively to the farm. I think the inn deserves maybe an episode of its own. Maybe we just dedicate an entire episode to it. Maybe it's a chunk of a different episode. But not today. That is for a future episode. So, on that, this is actually going to be it for today's episode, guys. I know it's been a bit anticlimactic. We didn't really do a great deal in terms of comparing ourselves to what we've done in the past couple of episodes, but I'm happy with what we got done today. Also, this episode is getting long enough, so I would like to set our attention away from this area as soon as possible. In the next episode, we are going to build a little shed in that area, because I've decided I want to put one in there. We are going to build up a windmill over there area, and we're going to extend the moss out and around. And we're going to add some finishing touches around the outside. And then finally, the last thing we're going to do in the next episode is in here. We're going to do the interior to the farmhouse. So a pretty packed episode, all things considered. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as well. I certainly have. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed working on this episode, and I'm really happy with how the farm is starting to look. It is starting to take shape and look better than I was actually anticipating. I knew what I wanted, but this is looking even better than what I was expecting it to look like. I'm so happy with what we've got going on here. And I'm so excited to see what the rest of the base is going to come out like. I'm very, very excited for this. So with that, and on that bombshell, I would like to say a massive thank you to you guys for watching this episode. If you've made it this far, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It genuinely does mean the world to me when people watch to the end of the videos because, well, it shows that you guys have enjoyed it. I put a lot of effort into these videos, and I put a lot of effort into everything that I do on YouTube. So it really does mean the world to me when you guys do watch it. So thank you so much, those of you who are watching to this bit of the video. But enough of that soppy stuff. We're better than that. Well, not really, I appreciate it. But without further ado, thank you all very much for watching. I have been Duckboy. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Never forget that. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.